Welcome to Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help educate you about narcissistic abuse because your feelings do matter. Hi, and welcome to another podcast of Narc Abuse No More with your host, Dr. and Evangelist, K.O. Rich. Thanks for tuning in today. Today is Wednesday, October the 5th of 2022. I pray that you've had a blessed, stress-free, narcissistic-free, abuse-free week so far, and that the remainder of this week will continue to be so as well. But if not, come on now, we're going to be talking about a few things today. Again, my name is Dr. K.O. Rich with Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help you admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse, because your feelings do what? They do matter. Yes, they do. But before we go on with today's podcast, I would like to invite you to visit us on our website at www.narcabusenomore.org. Again, that website address is www.narcabusenomore.org, or you can type in narcissisticabusenomore.com. Again, that's narcissisticabusenomore.com. And on our website, you find valuable information regarding narcissism, relationships, and if you have missed any of these podcasts that are aired every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Central on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Play, iTunes, Deezer. Did I say Google Play? Google Podcasts. I keep saying Google Play, Google Podcasts. Y'all know what I'm saying. And then we're also on Rumble and... Are we on Brighteon? We're on Rumble. We're on Amazon Audible and YouTube. So you have a variety of different platforms to listen to us from. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go to Narcissistic Abuse No More. Narcissistic Abuse No More. Hit that subscribe button so that you will be alerted as to when we post new podcasts. And I know most of y'all listen to us from the other platforms, but we're trying to get this YouTube channel to grow too. So, hey, take some time and go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube, all right? Get the algorithm going so more people can hear the valuable information that y'all are getting. You are getting valuable information. If I have to toot, beat my own horn. With all due humility, praise God. All right, so what are we talking about today? We are talking about ways to stop settling for less than you deserve. Many of you, let me just say this, many of you are settling for less than you deserve. Whether it's in a relationship, whether it's on a job, rather just, people in general, you're this people pleaser that you're not getting what you need or deserve out of this relationship, whichever type of relationship it is. You can have a banking relationship and they're not giving you the interest you deserve. A job and they're not giving you the money and or promotion you deserve. You might be in a relationship with someone you're dating and they're not giving you the time, attention, or anything else that you deserve. They might be sharing their self with somebody else, okay? And you're being faithful and you're just their option and they're your priority. We've talked about that. Stop making people a priority where you're only their option. So we want to give you some tips to help you to understand and to know how to thrive and not settling for less. So many people, especially when they're dating, they're saying that I'm just going to settle for this individual because I cannot get anything better. Let me just let you know something. Let me give you a wink, wink, honk, honk, that if you don't think that you're going to get better, you can't get better, guess what? You won't. You got to stop settling for less than. And let me just say this, because so many people, I got to be with somebody. Let me just say this to you. It is better to be by yourself in a cardboard box with a workable cell phone that you can go somewhere and charge than to be with somebody who mistreat you, abuse you, misuse you, and do not care for you or value you. Yes, yes, yes. I'm saying this with all seriousness. You have to know your worth. You have to know your value. Stop settling for less because you're afraid to be alone. So many people are settling. I'm not telling those that are married, I pray that you get some counseling. But if you have not married a person, many of you have invested years of yourself in someone that you have not even said I do to because you're settling, because you think that I can't do anything better. You haven't and won't do anything better because you're settling for less than you deserve. So, number one, stop rationalizing the poor behavior of others. I want to give you this valuable website. I always like to give you a website where you can get this valuable information. And one of the websites that we're using today is psychology.com, psychologytoday.com. Stop rationalizing the poor behavior of others. You're making excuses for them. Oh, well, he had a hard life. Oh, well, he's stressed out on the job. Oh, she's dealing with some men issues. Oh, it's some behavior issues and some things from the past. And this is why they act the way that they do. Why, we. Let me just say this. No one has the right to mistreat, abuse, manipulate, devalue, or belittle you just because they have gone through something themselves. You have to stop rationalizing the poor choices, the poor behavior, the abuse that someone else is doing to you just because they have gone through something. Yes, everybody has gone through something. Get some counseling. Okay, get some counseling. If this person wants to dismiss you, invalidate you, they don't accept you, then you deserve better. Stop rationalizing why they treat you this way. Oh, they treat you this way because they got mother issues. Oh, they treat you this way because they got daddy issues. Well, guess what? I am neither their mother or their father. They need to go to the Lord and get the help that they need, as well as get a counselor. It does not give them the right to mistreat you just because they have issues. So stop making excuses. Stop rationalizing the poor behavior of others, because it's not going to make them treat you any better because you feel like, oh, I'm being so understanding to them. No, encourage them to go get help, but don't rationalize it. Number two, recognize that not getting what you want is not always a curse. Let me just say this. Sometimes we can. I remember back in the day, and let me use myself as an example. I remember back in the day, being all depressed and went woo because this person that I thought I was gonna be in a relationship with didn't work. And so let me just say, today I am happy. Yes, I am. Hallelujah. Let me just say, I am so glad that I did not get what I wanted at that time. It was not a curse. At the time, I thought it was a curse. It was a blessing. It was an early Christmas gift that I did not get that person that I thought that I wanted at the time. Recognize that sometimes when you don't get what you want, it is a blessing. It is a blessing. You think that, oh, this person that you didn't wind up with, that was the worst thing when y'all broke up. You just didn't know, honey, God was blessing you. He was blessing you so that you wouldn't wind up maybe being divorced, being beaten, being dead. Come on now. Recognize that blessing. You might say, we broke up and I feel, okay, it hurts. Okay, it does. However, you will survive. What's that song? I will survive. You will survive. You just got to know your worth. You got to know to stop settling for less than you deserve. Number 3. Recognize that being alone is not the same thing as abandonment. You might say, well, I'm alone. And let me just say this. sometimes being by yourself does not equate to loneliness. But even though you may not be partnered with somebody, it's better than being abused by someone. Let me just say this. So many people, they'll get on Facebook and have all these pictures and everything. And, oh, we look like the lovey couple. And it ain't that way behind the scenes, okay? It's not that way behind the scenes. It's just a picture, just a selfie. It's just, it's not the reality. How many couples have you seen walk the red carpet and then they're divorced the next time you see them? All right? Don't feel as if you being by yourself is something wrong with you. Sometimes you need to be by yourself in order to get to know yourself. Come on now. Because if you're jumping from relationship to relationship, you haven't had any space to see what you want, what went wrong, what do I need to change, what do I need to do, what do I need to pick the next time so that I won't wind up in a similar situation. So you wind up going from man to man, woman to woman, and then you think, okay, I'm in another abusive relationship, and then I'm in another relationship where they not valuing me, not understanding me, not appreciating me, and you need to take some time and say, stop, hold up, have that sign, beware, yellow light flashing, hold up a minute, take some time. It's okay. If you're criticizing yourself because you're saying, okay, I'm not partnered up, think like this. At least you're not being beat up, okay? You're not being abused. See, some people that are with somebody need to be alone in order to not be abused. Partnership doesn't equate to happiness. Number 4, one thing that is so important in not getting or in getting less than you deserve is to be able to express what it is that you want. If you go for a job interview and you want to make a certain amount of money, you got to open your mouth because they're going to lowball you. And you got to say, okay, well, we're going to negotiate the pay scale. If you don't negotiate, you won't get what you want. You might say in this relationship, well, I'm just going to take what I can get because I can't get any better. No, you have to have some boundaries. You have to say, I will not be cheated on. Let me just say this. I'm so serious. I am not going into a relationship with the idea that, if he cheats once, that I'm going to forgive. Absolutely not. My idea is I'm going into this relationship and I'm going to be faithful to you, and I expect you to be faithful to me. And if you cannot fulfill your part of the bargain, then guess what? I am out. That means that I'm not going to have a get out of jail free card and say, if you cheat once, then I'm going to forgive and forget and we can just keep on. No. I expect complete faithfulness because I will be faithful to you. Therefore, when you break that, then expect me to no longer be the Mrs. All right? I will be X. See, you have to have some standards. You have to have some boundaries. Another thing, you hit me once. That's it. There's no such thing as, I was stressed out. I'm sorry. No. Because that's how people wind up in abusive relationships. Because when it happened the first time, you didn't get up and leave. You made excuses. So you have to express yourself of what you want in the relationship. If something is unacceptable to you, and let me just say this, because sometimes you have women, I see this with women, they will say, I'm in an open relationship. No. What it is that that person that you're with is not going to be faithful to you. So you have settled and said, I'm in an open relationship because you know that they're going to cheat on you. So therefore you are giving them the green card, the permission to cheat. Stop settling for less than you deserve. Number 5. Don't agree with what you don't want. If it's something that you are not wanting in a relationship or happy with, then don't agree with it just because you're afraid to lose that individual. If that individual feels that you are worth it, they will agree to your terms, that you will come to a meeting of the minds. You have to say in a relationship, I will not be abused. You will not talk to me any kind of way. I will not tolerate certain behavior, and you don't tolerate it. If that person cannot agree to those terms, then you know that this is not the relationship for you. Get out. And I'm warning the singles before you say I do. Don't get, if you dating somebody that don't respect you, that obviously don't love you, because if they don't respect you, then they don't love you. If they're hitting you, they don't love you. If they're cheating on you, they don't love you. If they're belittling you, they don't love you. If they cannot find and see the value in you, then they don't love you. And you have to love yourself before you know how to receive and accept love from someone else. Come on now. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in just a moment.
Rehearsed my lines 1,000 times until I had them memorized. But when I get the nerve to tell you the words, just never seem to come out right. Only you knew how much I do love you. Only you knew how much I do need you. I dream of moments we share, but you're not there. I'm living in a fantasy, 'cause you don't even suspect, could probably care less about the changes I've been going through. Only you knew how much I do love you. Only you knew how much I do need you. Don't even suspect, could probably care less about the changes I've been going through. Only you knew how much I do love you. Oh, and only you.
Patti LaBelle. Ah, how much I love you. Only you knew. Woo. Too bad I can't sing like that. If you only you knew. All right. So we're talking about not taking less than you deserve. And let me just say this, because you got to ask yourself, what are you worth? I'm not talking about in dollars and cents. I'm talking about your value. What are you worth? Are you worth someone that's going to fully commit to you, fully love you, fully celebrate you, fully honor you, fully uplift you? Because guess what? If you don't think that you're worth that, then you won't get that. So you have to ask yourself the question, what do I worth? What am I worth? What do I feel that I'm worth? Because if you put yourself on the clearance rack, you will only get clearance price. So therefore, you have to find the value in yourself. One thing is so important, to be yourself. If that person can accept you for being you, none of us are perfect. But if they can't accept you for being you, then guess what? It's not going to work. You're going to be unhappy because you're going to try to live up to this other person's expectations and you're going to not meet it. Especially when you're dealing with a narcissist, because they're going to keep raising the bar higher and higher and higher, and you're not going to be able to meet it. So be yourself. Be true to who you are. Another thing is, you have to get to know yourself, to understand yourself. If you're just running from relationship to relationship to relationship, then you're really not getting to know what you want in a relationship. Have you taken the time to sit down and even just write about it and think about, make a note in a journal or something? What is it that I want? What is it that I need in a relationship? Have you found fulfillment in your own life first before you expect someone to fill you in? Because sometimes what happens is that so many people are filled with holes, and then when you get in a relationship, you expect that person to be like a meat filler, and therefore they're trying to fill in all these holes and plugs and everything, and they can't do it. So then the relationship winds up wearing out because you have put too much on the other person. You expect them to be a miracle worker when you were not healed, and therefore because you were not healed before you got into that relationship, then it's putting stress on that relationship, and therefore the relationship winds up crumbling. Make sure that you're healed before you get into another relationship. If you are broken, then you're going to have a broken relationship. You know, sometimes people think that, oh, this person is meant to come into my life because they need to heal me. No, you need to get your healing from Jesus. Come on now. You need to make sure that you have dealt with your issues. And let me just say this, are we perfect? No, but I'm talking about, if you know that you got male issues, abandonment issues, whatever type of issues that can cause the demise of a relationship, and they can break down somebody who comes into the relationship that's actually well, then you need to deal with those issues. Take some time to work on those issues. If you know that you've been hurt by so many people, and then you just ready to blow up a steam and blow off on everybody, go off on people because you dealing with some anger issues, then you need to get those anger issues together before you hurt someone else that is truly together, and you wind up messing up the relationship due to your own issues. Because some of y'all got some issues, and you got to work on those issues. You wanna have a healthy relationship, then stop settling for trying to patch up things in your life that you're not. You need to actually fix it. See, you're settling for less within yourself because you're not actually working on those issues that you need to deal with. If you're saying that I want to be happy, well, find out what happiness means to you first before you get involved with someone. Because every day that person's not going to make you happy. And you have to find happiness from first God and then within. You can't expect the person to be a miracle worker. You got to work on yourself first. Stop settling for less. Do your best to get the help that you need before you get involved in an unhealthy, toxic relationship, thinking that all is going to end well just because I'm with this person, I'm married, and no, not if you're not healed. Because eventually those wounds are going to open. That person might do something, not even meaning to, but they might do something that's going to open up some old wounds, and then it's going to cause trouble because you are not healed. You're going to make a mountain out of a mole because you're not healed. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Like a road that never ends, how it leads me back again to a heartache I never understand. Darling, I put my heart upon the shelf till the moment was right, and I told myself, next time I fall in love,
Amy Grant, The Next Time I Fall in Love. And one of the things that is so important, again, is to make sure that you know your value. When you know your value, you're not going to just settle for anything and anyone. You're going to know your value and say, you know what, I'm going to stop settling for less. Because you deserve it. We're going to end today's podcast. I pray that today's podcast has been a blessing to you and that you will know that, hey, your feelings, they do matter. This is Dr. K.O. Rich with Narc Abuse No More, helping you to admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse. Until next time.